Hey friends, how's it going? I am back. The Fazbear Reviewer, back at it again. But now I'm back to doing my usual voice reviews. So, I was away for a work trip, so I am now back home in the comfort of my studio, as I would call it, my recording area. So, I'm glad to be getting back to doing these reviews again. Because doing just Transform videos, let's be honest, is kind of boring. With the exception of showing how to transform the figures, I wasn't really doing anything otherwise, so finally getting back into the groove of things. So, getting back into the groove with World War II Bumblebee, Studio Series 26. So, yeah. This guy apparently showed up in Last Night, which is one of the recent Transformers films. You only see him in a flashback scene, you don't see him anywhere else. So this is like what? This is what Bumblebee used to be before he became what as we know him as now? Okay. I'm sure the some of the theorists, some of the Transformer theorists online can solve that, I guess. But he does come with his glorious war hammer. In my opinion, the hammerhead should be bigger, but that's just me. So there's that. Along with this, I'm not sure what kind of gun this is, but I'm sure it's pretty powerful, so there's that as well. Articulation-wise, he's got a lot of that. I mean, head is on the typical ball joint as per Studio Series, ball jointed shoulders. You can move the arms back, but they tend to unsnap quite easily. There's a soft ratchet for the elbows, swivel above that, which is kind of a locking swivel. Hands can move in and out, that's more for transformation purposes than anything else. The waist does rotate, but it only goes about that far on each side due to these pieces on the waist that keep getting in the way. I would push it past that point, but I don't want to break it, so there's that. Ball jointed hips, as per usual with the deluxes. You can kick about that far back and about that far forward. You can almost do the splits, but the ball joints don't quite allow it. Very halfway loose thigh swivel, about 90 degree in the knee, and you can move the foot, but only a little bit, and any further than that, and it starts to untransform the leg. So there's that as well. You can get some poses out of him, but my personal opinion, other than holding the hammer in a semi-decent pose, you can't really do a whole lot with him. So there is that. I mean, really other than what you saw at the start of the video, along with this, not really much you can do pose-wise. So there's that. So enough chatting, let's go ahead and get into the transformation. This one's quite interesting. I don't recall seeing this transformation before, but I'm sure we've gotten it somewhere, because there's a couple of figures in Studio Series that have actually been recycled from their old forms. So, first of which being Cogman, KSI Boss is just a repaint of Nitro Zeus, along with, let me see, I don't know, I think that's about it with the recycled figures. So, going completely off topic, let's go ahead and get into the transformation. I'm going to lift this up out of the way, because otherwise it'll get in the way. Going to pull these obvious vehicle parts out first, flip the feet inside, flip the tires out, rotate these bits on the kind of weird half locking hinge. They only sort of lock in that position because you move them just a little bit and they unlock. Fold them over what were the backs of the legs and then sandwich everything together. So that's pretty simple, right? Well, the simplicity's in there. So first things first, push the shoulders back to untap the chest. Make sure he's looking kind of up a little bit, because when you push the chest down, otherwise the head will get away. So go ahead and pull the tires out from behind the arms, hold everything out like this, and then spin it forward. There's that. Go ahead and rotate the arms down towards where the legs were via the shoulders. Pull the hands away. Rotate the forearms to where the tops of the forearms are now facing the tops of the shoulders. Pull them in and then down, and there's little slots on the inside, the back of the forearms that will go over the tabs on the back of the thighs. Go ahead and do that. Now, if you don't do this right, the alignment with the rear wheels tends to get a little bit messed up. So, let's see if we can kind of fix that a little bit. So, looks pretty straight to me. So, because the reason I say about the alignment is because otherwise the bumper won't peg into the rear part of the quarter panels very well. So there's that. Go ahead and open these panels up. Pull this down. Tab the front section in first, and then the side panels will peg into right above where his shins were. And this is what I meant about the ever so slight realignment problem. So pull the bumper down, and then you would sandwich it between the legs, or between the wheels, sorry. There's that, and there's our base for the vehicle mode. Now the hammer attaches to that post right there. That's the only reason the post is even there to begin with. You're supposed to rotate the hammer's head to the side and pull the handle straight. Lift up this panel here, making sure the hammer's pressed all the way down. Turn it upside down, and then push it back in. So, it tabs into place sometimes, not all the time. What would be the driver's side on an American vehicle tabs in sometimes, but not all the time. This section right here, I don't think that turns. Oh no, yeah, it does. Look at that. Huh. I didn't know that. And then, obviously, that is where the handgun would go. So, yay. There's that. Took a little bit of doing, but you're able to do it. And it does roll just on carpeted surfaces. It acts like it doesn't want to. So, yeah, there's that. I've noticed that the vehicles aren't exactly in scale with each other, but the robot modes are, well, obviously, being in Studio Series. I'm going to go ahead and bring in a couple of vehicles to show you size-wise. Here is Sideswipe, Dark of the Moon, Barricade, first movie, and Clunker Bumblebee, which is also the first movie. Yeah! And the reason I did 1, 2, 3, and then now I'm doing 4, because I got them all at the same time. Literally all at the same time, all in the same place. I got all of them at Walmart. So, yeah, there is that. Just bring in another figure, just for the sake of scale. Just give me a second. Let's bring in a Decepticon, shall we? Oh, I got one. How about Dropkick, the helicopter version? I do have the car mode version, it's sitting behind me right now. Also, the hell with it. Let's go ahead and bring in Shatter as well. So, size-wise, they're roughly all about the same depending on their vehicle mode. So, there's that. And one more figure, because he's also from The Last Night. Bring in Cogman. So, there you go. Our 2 Last Night figures so far. Hopefully we get more. There also is a Bumblebee 2-pack that has the Last Night Bumblebee in it. So, eventually I'll get that and I'll show it off. I like this version of Cogman much better than the one that we got for The Last Night, because, let's be honest, that just looked like a toy, versus this actually looks like the real car. So, there's that. So, yeah, I do like that. And one more, just for the sake of saying scale, here's Rampage. So, yeah, vehicles are a little bit out of scale, but who cares? So, yay. So yeah, Should you get this particular Bumblebee? I would. Just, yeah, it doesn't exactly look like your average Bumblebee, but who cares? I mean, I'm buying all of the Studio Series figures just for the sake of saying I have them all. So, there's that. So, I mean, out of all the figures I have so far, this one is the most interesting, along with the idea that we're actually getting a Devastator for once. The last Devastator I can recall that actually had robot modes, vehicle modes, and the combined mode was the easy version, which was like this big. Oy. Thankfully Hasbro wised up and decided to do an actual decent scale Devastator this time. Jeez. So also the Scavenger and the Mixmaster figures are up for pre-order in a lot of places, which is like TF Source, Big Bad Toy Store, I want to say the Chosen Prime, I think, and also Amazon. So there is that. I'm supposed to be getting a Revenge of the Fallen Optimus that goes with Jetfire here in the next couple of days, so you'll see that, the combo, that is. So, yeah, I'm going a little bit off topic there. But the transformation back to this figure really isn't that hard. Just sometimes, more often than not, the parts get in the way. What the hell? Oh, there we go. Just kind of stuck there for a second. Now the shoulders don't want to snap in. Jeez. First time I did this review, it was fine. Oy. Yeah, and when you're snapping these panels back in, you gotta kind of push them with your fingers, because otherwise they don't snap in at all. See what I mean? And then when you go to snap them back in, you gotta fold the feet forward just a hair. So, they do snap in, just ever so slightly. So yeah, there's World War II Bumblebee. Should you get it? I mean, I would, but that's just me, preference reasons. Yeah, it's not technically a Bumblebee, but who cares? So, it's Studio Series. If it's Studio Series, you better believe I'm gonna buy it. So, there's that. So, alrighty then. I guess that's gonna do it. I've been the Fazbear Reviewer. I encourage you guys to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.